pointed at me. Parked like a cop. Well, I think a cop would have taken up more than 3 parking spaces. They probably would have found a way to make it take 6. But he pointed his vehicle right at me. I don't know what purpose they got for driving crooked or pointing their vehicle at me, but at least he turned off his lights. I figured just in case he wanted to try something confrontational, that I'd have my camera ready and let him know I was not okay with violence. It might be a she in the vehicle, who knows? I don't want to just assume. That would be rude. Or am I incorrect about that? Oh. Oh. Most of the time it's nothing. Most of the time. But because you're homeless, you have to be paranoid because it is an issue often. People just being mean and hateful. If you don't record it, then people pretend it didn't happen. If you do record it, they look for every excuse not to look at it. So it's kind of difficult out here to not be paranoid all the fucking time. Sorry, hypervigilant. Hypervigilance is a type of paranoia. Paranoia does not denote that the issue is not happening. It just denotes that you're afraid of it happening again. Or that you're afraid of it happening to begin with. You may never get beaten up by a boyfriend your entire life, but you might be so paranoid of it that you never date anybody, or so paranoid of it that whenever somebody raises their voice, you think it's the end of the world. Well, he might do that, he might do that, he might do that. You know, I'd rather just get the hell away from somebody who's paranoid like that. Somebody who's going to pretend like I'd do something bad. But I have to stay vigilant because as a homeless male, people often do something bad. I just said doo-doo. Anyway, it's not a super bad area. I mean, maybe if you're a minority, but I don't know. It seems to me that the KKK following here is a bunch of mouthy asswipes that, well, seems to me the black folks that are here are at least bright and pleasant. At least they've been to me. Definitely isn't what not what I'm wanting to deal with. But Sunday's coming up soon. Monday we get to go in and try to turn some stuff in and get them to actually listen. If Jared Scudder's able to keep his appointment, and life happens, and a lot of people don't. I'm prepared for that. It sucks when it happens, and it does happen often. But like with Jason Scudder, when he helped me to move my crap, that's not help I wanted to ask for. That's help that I ended up in a fucked up situation with. A lot of people wanted to tell me if I didn't get this or I didn't get that, then it meant I wasn't taking care of myself. Meanwhile, I was like, you notice how small my car is and all the stuff stuffed into it? Well, maybe you should get a van. Like, oh my God. See, now you're starting to get into a whole bunch of more expenses. This thing's at least good on gas. Oh, cheese. Ah, the power of cheese. It's Saturday night. I figure them youngins would probably show up and be noisy all night. I also figure it's Saturday night. That's what they do in most small towns. Go congregate at a local parking lot, talk some shit, hang out with your friends. I'm not sure if it's got the a good enough connection to actually show you where the white lines are, but yeah, that person is parked on 3 different parking spots. Of course, if you look at the rest of the parking lot, it's pretty well empty except for some of the spots up against the building, because the pizza place, it closes at, I want to say it closes at 10, well, it closes at 9:30, but well, they got their lights on. Maybe they're going somewhere. There's a couple nights where they were having like a little drag thing going on, but they weren't going fast. It seemed to me like they were practicing going tandem. That thing is a big fucking working beast. Huge. Yeah, it's a nice looking truck too, huh? If I had a good back, that's kind of vehicle I'd want a Chevy S10. That's what I'd want. Little Chevy S10, good on gas, big enough to put drywall in the back. If it'll take drywall, then it'll accept plywood. If it'll accept plywood, then I can fit quite a bit in it because it's got a regular sized truck bed. It's just a small cab, a small frame. Anyway, them folks didn't seem like they were... I think that's them. Let me see. Oh yeah, it has a big fucking truck. Anyway, they didn't stop or start any trouble. They just parked, went about their business, and left. They were just lazy about parking, so I was wondering. Adios. Better to be vigilant than be wrong. You know, there's, let's say 9 out of the 10 people that I post up about that are missing. Let's say 9 out of 10 of them, there's really no issue. They were off doing something stupid, drinking with their friends, woke up too late, didn't make it to work, didn't make it to fucking their college classes, and, you know, it turns out that they're all right. They're just out messing around. Sometimes it turns out that they ran away from home and they do get returned. But it's that one time that your friend or family member that goes missing, and you hope it's just a runaway, and they end up dead. My little sister Tara, when she ran away, she was a grown adult with a kid already. She ran away from her husband. But then there's a lot of people that go missing that are found that, you know, I only knew... Well, I didn't even know their names until they ended up on a poster, like Hannah Pendergrast and Sarah Rubiolo. I knew who they were because when they were underage, they hung out with the wrong people. But who am I to judge, right? Who am I to judge who the wrong people are? Maybe some of them child molesters and drug addicts and stuff really do have the best intentions for them. My question is, even if they do have the best intentions, what capabilities do they have mentally or physically? If they're too fucked up on heroin to do anything, yeah, they may have good intentions, but they're fucked up on heroin. An alcoholic may have all the best intentions in the world, but it's oxygen deprivation, and when you deprive your brain of oxygen, you don't think well. You get stuck on one thing in your head, and although people can tell you something 30 times, it won't register in your head. One of the problems with being called mentally ill is people just assume that you must be wrong. And that's why it's so easy to victimize us. And that's why we are so high on the list of being victimized, as well as being shot by police. The police really do kill a lot of people that are not armed, that are homeless. You've additionally got really bad laws that kill people who are homeless. You tell them that it's their fault that they don't have the resources that you fuck around with. Like, yeah, sure, we're eligible, and you're going to throw it in our face that we're eligible. Well, do you ever get sick of saying that and think about maybe helping the person who's eligible to get it? Once they've got it, it's pretty easy. There's a lot of people that were in the Dalles, and I was listening to them say how they needed help getting on disability and all that, and I could have spent the time to do that, but they needed to be able to stop and spend the time to help me make sure that I didn't lose mine, that I get my money back, and that I wouldn't be repeatedly victimized because I didn't have enough money to do anything. And that right there, you can keep people impoverished Keep people from turning in bad cops just by pressing false charges. It gets real expensive. And then you just don't allow them any of their rights because you don't have to, because they don't have the money to buy those rights anyway. God bless America and all that.